So this is a little different, but we'll go ahead and get started. Make the most of this virtual space that we're in. I want to welcome everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Youth in Focus. I'm Samantha Kelly. I'm the executive director, the very proud executive director of Youth in Focus. And even though we can't be together in person, it is so great to welcome you all into this presentation of student work. I think all of us wish we could be together in person. I know some of us are missing the cookies, but I am just missing the community that we have when we can really all gather in the same space. And for those of you that know us and have followed us and been part of our group of supporters or students, you will remember the last time that we all met in person for a student showcase was November of 2019. So well over a year ago. And the last student showcase we had scheduled in March of 2020 was the same day the governor shut the state down. So it's been a long time since we've been able to gather. And while it's not ideal, it is just so heartwarming to be able to provide this space for everyone, for us to showcase our students' work and for them to be able to share with you all what they've been working on over the last few weeks. You know, since March of last year, we have pivoted like everybody else, and we have embraced everything virtual. And so with our new virtual technology, I am so thrilled tonight to introduce you all to our Creative Career Cohort. This is an amazing new program that we're offering at Youth in Focus for the first time, where we combine photography and our social and emotional learning program for the first time with a career-connected learning focus. A program that is not just 2 months, but now 6 months long. And it's also the first time that we have partnered in this meaningful way with a corporate partner. And I am also really pleased that this is the first time we've been able to offer our students a stipend for participating in our program. So many of you in attendance have been part of our network of support. You've supported our students, you've supported Youth in Focus, and you've supported bringing this program to fruition. I want to thank you all for believing in the arts, believing that the arts matter, believing in our young people, and joining us tonight. And in particular, I want to give a huge thanks to those who have really helped bring this program to fruition. First of all, my staff that are on this screen, Benji and Chris and Ashley, as well as Dane, our teaching artist. Thank you for making the magic happen so that we can be here tonight. Huge shout out to our corporate partner, Evo, who is collaborating with us to bring this program to reality. And also to Sandy Novak, our program sponsor for the 2020 year. Y'all are in for an awesome presentation. I'm going to stop talking. It is my pleasure now to introduce Dane Ikimura, who is our teaching artist, and he is going to take it away and allow you to meet and get to know our students. So thank you all so much for being here.
I just got the jitters. Let me get them out really quick. Thank you, folks, for joining. I see 7 audience members. Beautiful. Thank you for showing up. Yeah, this has been super fun to work with our class. Everyone did such an amazing job. It was really fun connecting with everyone and like seeing the progress. Yeah, everyone adapted super well to virtual learning. Like it's super hard. It's really frustrating sometimes, but everyone showed up and everyone killed it, and we're super proud. So yeah, like Samantha said, my name's Dane. I'm the teaching artist for the first session here, the digital media session. So we covered kind of like photography basics, shooting in manual mode, introduction to Adobe Creative Suite. So like we worked a good amount in Photoshop, which was super fun. So yeah, that's kind of like high level, like things that we've covered. We covered like layouts in Photoshop, retouching, all kinds of stuff. So pretty like high level, and everyone crushed it. So super stoked to show you what we have tonight. And I will introduce Benji.
Thank you, Dane. I am Benji Anderson, Community Engagement Coordinator here at Youth in Focus and the Community Assistant for the CCC program. As you've already heard, it's been an amazing labor of love that's gone into this program. And we're just really excited to be able to present to you the work that our students have been working on. they've been doing amazing things and continue to do and will continue to do amazing things as we move throughout the program. And that being said, Dane, I'm gonna cut it right there and let's jump into it.
Cool. Let's get into it. I'm going to ask that everyone turn their cameras on, please, so we can see your lovely faces. Jemias, Tayer, Kanija, Sabrian, Brenda, Robbie, Khadija. If y'all could please turn your cameras on. What's up? There they are. So we're going to kick it off with our final presentations. So we have the students will be showing their first photo that we shot, which was our self-portrait project. And then to the right of that is any photo that of their choosing. It could have been any project that we worked on, any photo that was shot during the class. So yeah, we're gonna see both side by side, and then we have artist statements that everyone wrote on themselves. So they will be sharing those out too. So we're gonna kick it off with my man Sabrian.
Okay, so for my week 1 photo, my self-portrait, I was using the camera for the first time and just like some things I could do with it. I just took a quick picture just to put in for the project. And as for my final project, week 6, that is a picture of my friend. I took a picture of him yesterday, and he wanted a couple of pictures of him done. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll use one from him. So this one came out really nice, and this is one of my favorite ones that I took of him. And I really liked how it kind of emphasized the words on his jacket. He had made this jacket himself as well, so props to him. But yeah, so, and these both were taken in the same place as well.
Word. Very cool. Do you want to read your artist statement for us, Sabrian?
I said that being an artist and an entertainer, I like to make my audience feel connected to my art, make them feel emotional, or make them feel emotion. When it comes to taking pictures or digital media, I strive to draw focus to things that will make the audience think and or feel sadness, anger, and or happiness. When it comes to photography, I think about my surroundings and objects that can make the picture look more interesting. I also look for different angles to use and what subjects I need to draw focus to and what subjects do not require a lot of focus. Personally, I love to be in the moment and feel the vibe, or usually I enjoy a calm atmosphere. When it comes to photography, I've noticed I tend to try and portray a calming atmosphere or a common feeling that people have on an everyday basis. To think and get lost is a feeling I enjoy and which I see as having a childlike nature.
Excellent work, Sabrian.
Yeah, super dope.
Just want to give you some of the feedback from the chat. Cam says, nice when he loves the jacket and the light hitting his face. Andy says, good composition on the jacket with the rule of thirds.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Terry, this photo makes me want to know more of the story. And I would add to that last comment, Sabrian, I'm wondering what made you choose, obviously you wanted to show the back of the jacket you mentioned, but did you want your friend to not look at the camera? And why did you choose to kind of shoot him from below? Or like looking at him?
Well, I took a couple pictures of him from up front, and then I thought, well, his jacket looked pretty cool. So I thought you should turn around. I would take a picture of you looking out in the distance. And that kind of like connects to what I said in my artist statement, like kind of getting lost and being in the moment. So that's kind of where this picture came out from. And I thought like it would look pretty cool.
Word. Yeah, I love it. Kind of get similar vibes. Remember the Balloon Man photo that we looked at? How like it was super mysterious, kind of cryptic looking, like we couldn't see the person's face. I'm getting very similar vibes to this. Like Terry said, it makes me want to like know more, like context, more of the story behind of what was going on. So super cool, Sabrian.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The juxtaposition too of your self-portrait with you obviously looking at the camera and then your homie with the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Round of applause.
Easy.
Awesome work, Sabrian.
Hi, this is my self-portrait. When I was taking it, it was really hard and it was difficult. I was trying to figure out how to work with the camera and everything. And when I took so many pictures. I deleted a lot. And when I finally took this one, I was like, you know what? It's better than the other one. So like, I'll just put this one in. And then as I got as we went through the weeks and started working with our cameras more, I learned that when you zoom in instead of moving, well, when you zoom in, you get a better quality of the picture and what you're trying to take. And I've been doing that a lot instead of just going close to it. Like sometimes I go close to it, but zooming in has really helped me a lot. And changing the mode sometimes to see like which um which it looks better in. Yeah, the yellow picture was from, I don't know if you guys remember, but in my heritage project, there was a yellow dress, and I took a picture of a flower that was in it. There was flowers in it, but then this one kind of looked a little bigger or whatever, so I took this picture, and yeah.
Awesome work, Robbie. I love, one thing that I love about this is like how you were talking about, you found that zooming in rather than like moving closer helped you out. This is a super awesome detail shot. Again, with the rule of thirds, like right here, where this like flower on the dress, that's like right where the rule of thirds is intersecting. So awesome composition, awesome lighting. Love how the sequins on this outfit are hitting the light.
Yeah, Robbie, just so you know, a couple of comments coming in from the chat. Beautiful lighting. Cam says vintage treasure chest vibes. Sandy
Yeah.
says she likes the self-portrait because you're in focus and the background is soft and muted. Perfect lighting. And in the other photos, she really likes the close-up of the beautiful beadwork. Great subject. Meg said loves the image and pairing. And Andy says the photo on the right, I really enjoy. Lots of movement in the natural leading lines.
Yep.
Yeah, I would
What
agree with
all
all
that.
those things for sure. And then especially with your self-portrait, it does have amazing lighting. And I love this kind of gentle smile that you have on your face. And it also makes me think it's a little mischievous too. And so it makes me want to know more. It's giving me pieces of your personality, and it's making me want to know so much more. And I really love the pop of the red on your shirt there.
Chris said combo of the flower behind you next to the ornate beaded flower is a great pairing. And Suzanne says, also love the contrast of the wine colored sweater with the muted colors.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Oh, there's one more. The lighting on your self-portrait is very nice. This is from Terry Bloomer. The folds on your hijab and the folds on the drapery really bring out a pleasant, sinuous curve. Beautiful.
Yeah, it almost looks like one piece of fabric.
Yeah. Another thing I'm going to point out is all of these. So the pairing of the photos, I love the primary colors. We have yellow in this image and then the blue and the red, but those are all working well together.
Art has always been a part of life that I loved since I was young. I especially loved colors. Like I was really bad at coloring, but I loved it a lot. When I was in grade school, I was always excited to see what kind of art we would be doing. And like I was never good at it, but it was always fun. And as I got older, I loved art more because I got to learn more with patterns and textures. And now I love to work with color when I'm taking pictures with the camera you guys provided. I don't know why I like art so much. It's probably because it reminds me of my own Gambian cultural clothing because we have a lot of color. And I want people to see that just like art has many outcomes, so does life. And being in this space with BILC youth has allowed me to include my culture into this art. This space has also given me the chance to expand what I've learned color and put that into my art and do more with photography. And I'm really grateful for that.
That was amazing. Anybody got anything else?
We got artist statement is so on point, beautifully said. Robbie, art has so much color and so does life. Yes.
Boom. There we go. Beautiful connection with art and life, says Meg. Awesome. Heck yeah, Robbie. Thank you. Round of applause.
Snap it up.
Yeah. All right, pass it on to the next one. Brenda P.
My name is Brenda. The picture on the left is my self-portrait. I saw the sunset and I just kind of wanted to see how if I could capture the colors. For that picture, I also used Lightroom. After the last class that we learned about Lightroom, I used it to my first picture, the self-portrait out. So I was trying to use the light that comes from this big window that's on my right to use the shadows.
Do you want to go ahead and read your artist statement for us?
Oh, yeah. So these past few weeks have been very fun and I've learned a lot. I was introduced to the basics of photography and Photoshop. I now know how to use a camera and I've even begun to play with lighting. Through photography, I would like to explore themes such as my identity, my insecurities, emotions, and life. I already used drawing and painting to explore these themes, and now I'm excited to use photography too. I noticed that the dark colors I use in my drawings seem to have made their way into the pictures I take, in the form of high contrast and heavy shadows. I'm aware that developing an art style takes time and it's a long process, but I believe these things will become a part of my style.
Great lighting on the self-portrait, great exposure on the face in a dark room, and interesting composition. Perfect exposure on both, I would agree. Brenda, effective use of lighting and shadows in your self-portrait, effective use of the rule of thirds in the sunset photo. The airplane adds a sense of dimension. Great photos. The self-portrait is a wonderful example of your goals to incorporate shade to bring out the story. Chris says the self-portrait stops people in their tracks, stops their scrolls, powerful and well seen. Yes, absolutely would agree with that. Sam says, Brenda, so glad you're a part of the class and that photography gives you an outlet to explore your identity and life.
And Suzanne says, love the composition of the self-portrait. The shadow color is the perfect magic gray shadow used in watercolor painting. Like the lighting, we've talked about the lighting in your photos, Brenda. This is amazing. That gray color that Suzanne was mentioning, along with that orange in the sunset, these do kind of feel like watercolor paintings. And it makes sense that, painting is one of the other mediums that you use. And I love to hear and see how your techniques from painting and your style have found their way into your photography as well.
I know we've only been in photo class for 6 weeks, but I definitely see your style emerge with each project that we've done. So that's been super cool to see. Also stoked to hear that you edited this in Lightroom, your second photo. Yeah, both of these work super well together. I think the muted grays of your portrait and then the colors on the right balance each other out super well. Excellent work, Brenda.
And Meg says, beautiful use of light and shadow. Contemporary Mona Lisa.
Contemporary Mona Lisa, would agree with that, would second that. Awesome. Thank you, Brenda. I'm going to switch it up to Tayer.
My first photo, my self-portrait, I took in the comforts of my home. Show me, I was sketching, so I thought that would be a great photo. The high in the sky one, I took that on my way back from St. Louis a couple weeks ago, and I thought it looked pretty nice. The blanket of clouds, that's all I had to say for my photos.
Word. You want to read us your artist statement?
So throughout my life, art has always been a pretty good creative outlet where I could reinvent myself and create a world completely my own. My art is something I care deeply about. When I draw in order to cope with the idea and thought of change, because change happens so suddenly without you really being able to deal with it. And when it does happen, right in front of you, some may find it difficult to accept and or adjust to. That's why I draw what I draw. because to me, in my eyes, my sketches represent change, and because it's my way of letting myself and or my viewer know change can be something that's pretty cool. While in this program, my knowledge of cameras and Photoshop have been able to expand, such as my knowledge on perceptive lighting. Um, I take pictures almost every day because they influence how I draw and at times what I draw. While in this class, I've been able to see bigger changes within myself and my art style. My limitations have become clear to me, and I'm looking forward to experiencing how I'll be able to overcome the obstacles ahead.
Where Tyre, I'm just gonna read you what's happening here in the chat. Depth of field on the first photo is nice. Separate your hand in the act of drawing from you in the background. I also think the square crop was a good choice. Beautiful painterly quality to the self-portrait. I particularly like the way the light highlights your nose and lips, but also the hand illustrating in the foreground. Feel the connection coming through you to the paper. And Terry says, really interesting composition on both photos. They show very well together. Again, the element of sinuous curve plays strong in these photos and draw me down a pathway of a storyline. Tyre, your self-portrait reflects something about you, that you are serious about some aspects of your life, thoughtful and reflective. Your sky photo tells me that you are looking to new and broad horizons.
I think, yeah, your sky photo, like these pairing of photos with your artist statement go kind of hand in hand, but like beautifully written artist statement talking about change. Like change is so uncomfortable and so hard sometimes, and it sounds like you are very much embracing it with like everything that you do. I really love that artist statement.
The wisdom that is in your artist statement, in statements like change happens quickly, and just kind of out of note, like it's there. And we've talked about your self-portrait, and I love how intimate this feels. And then to hear you describe the other photo, the high in the sky, as a blanket of clouds, that softness that's there in that blanket of clouds really adds to the intimate nature of that self-portrait. I feel like we're really getting a glimpse into your soul, if that's not being too deep there. But I think you definitely did a great job of connecting yourself to your work.
Thank you.
Also, I'll point out that like both of these photos, specifically the sky one, give me such a like insight into like all of our meditations that we did, and like all of your like happy places, like anywhere that you went in your meditation. I feel like this encapsulates that pretty perfectly. So
yeah, and you said shown together, it feels like daydreaming. The dreamer on the left and the dream on the right.
Anybody got anything else for Tyre? Dude, amazing work, Tyre. That was awesome.
Awesome job.
Yep. By audience members' request, we got
a very quick round of applause. Hit it again.
Probably hard to hear, but yeah, we got the round of applause sound effect going on. So pass it on to Khadijah.
I'm Khadijah, and this is my work. The first one was the first self-portrait, the project that we had to do, and I love it. I was playing with lighting because I thought it was like really cool, and like the blue calming color is what I wanted to like portray. And the other picture is rain on the window. It was raining, and I just thought it'd be like cool to take because I always wanted to do that, and I did. And it's like light outside, and I just like the vibe that it has. When I think about art, I think about expressing myself and being true and honest to the artist inside. Throughout these past couple of weeks, I've learned that being in front of a camera means being vulnerable in a way that I've never been before. I've also learned that there's a lot of power in an image, and when I'm behind the camera, I hold that power, and I get to present myself to the world the way that I want to because I control the story being told within the frame. I really enjoyed playing with lighting. Learning that changing the direction of the light or how much light into a photo could change your whole perception of the image. Light is always available, but I learned that knowing how to work with it and using it to your advantage is key. A common theme in my photos has been self-perception, how I see myself versus how the world sees me and how I want the world to see me, and trying to find a balance between those things. Embracing myself in my authentic form, unapologetically, and being able to portray myself in a positive and honest light that defies the labels that society tries to put on me.
I'm just gonna read you some stuff that's in the chat. Um, the blue in both is nice, deep. Both photos have a very distinct and effective color palette. PJ agrees and likes the vibe that these images have. So cool to recognize how you control what comes through in the frame. Suzanne says, love the feeling, lighting, and mystery of the self-portrait. The raindrops and lights in the photo pick up the feeling of the fairy lights in your self-portrait. Sandy says, Khadijah, these two photos, where'd it go? Khadijah, these two photos take my breath away. Beautiful lighting on both. I love the theme of the light shining in both of these and how they complement each other. Just wow. Chris says, I love that you take ownership of what you want to say. Andy says, the rain shot has a great rule of thirds composition. It's nice to see the soft, I think that's broken lights filling the middle third of the photo.
Bokeh.
Bokeh lights. And Terry says, wow, more interesting choices to pair. Very effective and complementary. And then Sam says, I love that you are exploring how you present yourself to the world and the vulnerability you share. Thank you. Meg says, love the blues and the light in each image used differently. The focus and the blur, love the exploration. Say as well, I'm not sure if everyone caught it, but what you talked about in your artist statement about holding that power when you are behind the camera. And I would also say holding that power when you're in front of the camera. Like this self-portrait is a hugely powerful photo. You are literally holding the light, and that blue that carries out from the self-portrait over to the rainy days. It's amazing, even in this rainy days, because of the way because it's placed side by side with your self-portrait. In the more yellow colored lights, it actually looks like a silhouette of a face that's kind of looking back towards your portrait. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, the one word that I would use to describe you is like powerful. And you can definitely see that by your first self-portrait. Like Benji said, you're literally holding the light, but also just like your pose, like your facial expression, like your confidence is just like exudes power to me. And then that pairs super nicely with your rain days photo, which has like a super soft, like calming, like kind of almost like painterly quality to it. Andy pointed out the bokeh, which is like the blurred out lights in the background. So I loved how you chose to focus on the raindrops and blur out the background. But yeah, those lights correspond to the lights in your portrait. And I think those work super well together. All right, round of applause. Yeah. I'm gonna show Jemice's real quick.
Yeah.
The
article that comes with the photo on the left.
Agreed.
He is definitely giving us some superstar vibes. Mr. Hollywood, I love this. Reminds me of the photo shoots for CDs back in the day. Yes. So he says, nice lighting on both photos. Photographing architecture presents a whole other set of challenges, and you seem to have a good handle on it already. Robbie says, I like how the second photo is slanted. Yeah, I like that perspective in there as well, Robbie. Sandy says, nice contrast of the white on white plus shadows. The second photo is a nice contrast and has strong leading lines and interesting contrast. Yeah. PJ says, even the way he's posing is cool. The hand holding the collar while the jacket flares open. Really nice compositionally.
I'm gonna explain the photos.
Yeah, talk about your photos for a little bit and then read us your artist statement after.
The photo on the left, I actually took in front of my house on a sunny day, and I changed the lighting, as you can see, so I could make myself pop more. And the reason why I'm holding my collar is I have this necklace. It's like a Pisces necklace. I showed it before in this program already before, but yeah, it's just myself, really, me stepping outside of the box. In the photo on the right, I took it in North Seattle College with my brother. And my brother, he's all the way, I don't know if you guys probably can't see him, but he's at the end of it looking up at the light that's shining. Yeah, I really like these two photos. I chose the two most photos that I felt like that fit the description of my portfolio, artist portfolio. The pictures I like the most out of all the pictures I've been taking lately. I'm gonna read my artist portfolio. Artist portfolio. I interpret art and photography as emotion and self-explanatory of what train in an individual's mind, being able to explain so much without words. More so of the light, color, sound falls into the line of longevity. I want more viewers to see, but also feel the emotion of photos. Common theme in my life is finding who I really am and what being Black means to me. Seeing how the world interprets a young melanin male progressing from self-portrait to the images I have shown in this Padlet is an example of exploration. My bad. Yeah, photo on the right is like really explaining just like it's an obstacle of getting like it's like a tunnel, for instance. You got to go through it to reach the end, reach the light. It's like always at the end of a tunnel.
I dig it. Yeah.
My guy in the chat, Andy says, art is language. You nailed it. Samantha says, Jemias, love these two images together. The bright white and dramatic darks are great. I feel the emotion of these photos. Awesome work. Thanks for sharing. And Chris says, such good metaphors. Yeah. Jemias, were you able to hear to hear the rest of the feedback that we were reading earlier?
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, beautiful job, especially with your artist statement. And even just as you were kind of talking about your artist statement and mentioning like you see this photo on the right, it's like these are the obstacles to the light. This is really good stuff. Again, like I'm amazed at you all's ability to really kind of dig deep and bring so much insight, not just into your work, but just in what you've experienced throughout your lives. And yeah, y'all are amazing. Y'all got me all in my feels over here.
Yeah, I love the analogy of like obstacles. Like life will always have obstacles. I also love the quote in your artist statement about like kind of the self-exploration of a young melanin man. Like I'm sure there are so many obstacles that come with that. So yeah, just super powerful to recognize and like put that in your photos and in your statement. I love that.
I love that you're shining in that first photo.
The glow up is real.
Yeah.
In that one. Awesome work, Jemias.
Lydia, as Dane's pulling up your photos, if you want to just tell us a little bit about each photo and then read your artist statement for us.
So the first one is the first week when Dane asked us to do the self-portrait, and the another one is I took it this morning, and I used the different kind of option in the camera. I don't remember what it was. So this is like outside my window, so it was easy for me to get it. I want to learn photography because I wanted to capture every moment of my life like a document. To me, art means another way to express myself. There are times I use my art to escape from reality because it helps free my mind from the everyday problems in life. In my art, I like to capture the beauty of places and objects on a different backgrounds. I want to become a photographer because it can give me an entirely new perspective on everyday life. Also, I can use photography to turn almost anything I find beautiful into a work of an art. I want to study photography because creativity is one of the greatest gifts I have received. So I want to use the creativity I have to make a unique form of art. Some things I have learned so far in photography classes are lighting, editing, retouching, and different camera functions. Some of my favorite skills I have learned are how to use Photoshop and Lightroom. Some things I would like to explore are landscape, wildlife, and portrait photography.
Cool. Thank you, Lydia. Let me read you a comment in the chat. Andy says, I love the black and white photography. You have really good tonal value in your trees. Also, I'm seeing good rule of thirds in both of your images. They kind of like mirror each other. Like you're kind of on the left-hand side. And so the focus on your nature photo is over here. Plus we got tons of good leading lines with the trees coming up. Chris says, I love the idea of using photography as documentation. This is a fantastic use of the medium.
Larry says, your bright eyes and smile make me smile. And Samantha says, Lydia, thanks for sharing these moments of your life. And I'm glad photography gives you an escape from reality. I love your perspective. Suzanne says, the self-portrait makes me curious about what you are thinking. It's playful, as though you are teasing someone. Great lighting. Cameron says, photography does give you a different perspective on life. Love that you can use a camera to appreciate the little details around you. Sandy says, very nice lighting on the self-portrait. The background is a nice compliment to your jacket. The outdoor black and white has a nice composition and it brings my eye all around the photo. Chris says, I also used this photo of you to share the showcase with our audience. Oh, you were the showcase photo, Lydia. Terry says, beautiful lighting on your self-portrait. The nature photo composition is very pleasing to the eye. Great contrast, and your photo captures the ordinary and elevates it. I love the fact that this is, you said, the view from your room or from your house. I love that you are taking like something that you see every day and allowing us to see kind of through your eyes, like this thing that you see every day, but that you've changed the perspective of it a little bit. And I love that you're doing that. You're allowing us to kind of, step into your world. And I would agree. It looks like you are teasing someone in that photo. Along with Robbie, like you kind of have this little mischievous look on your face. I love that. And I love the red background or that burgundy. It's almost like a deep wine color or something just kind of popping off there. Really good stuff, Lydia.
I'll second that. I loved your second photo, your nature one. Like quarantine has been all about like finding what kind of things work for you, and just like it looks like you just went on a walk in your neighborhood and like took this out of your like by your house. I think Cam and Andy kind of pointed out in their visits in our class that like just bringing your camera everywhere with you is so important, and like it's just a good like mental relief to just like have something on you to just create and capture just like pretty mundane things in your neighborhood, but it just feels so good to like get that release. So yeah, I love your second photo for that.
Andy said that's 90% of his photography at the moment is decompressing. Good job, Lydia. Round of applause.
Yeah, thank you, Lydia.
Thank you.
Samantha says, thank you to all of our artists for sharing their photos and their artist statements. And thank you to everyone for attending and supporting our students and the arts. Larry says, nice flow of branches from left to right and corner to corner. Yes, as Samantha mentioned, thank you to all of our attendees for coming, showing up and supporting our students. It's never easy to put yourself out there, especially with your art, something that's so close to our souls and who we are. So thank you for coming and participating and witnessing the great work that our students are doing.
That's it. That's the end of the show. Everyone crushed it.
I think that's it, folks. To our attendees, again, thank you. Chris says Dane and Benji crushed it too. Well, thank you, Chris. We weren't expecting to go till 6, but hey, we had some good engagement here. And we certainly didn't want to cut that off early. But again, thank you to everyone. At this point, I think we are going to switch back just to our class. And we will see you all, hopefully in person, but for sure the next go round.
Thanks, y'all. Have a good evening. Bye.